I am saying words and feeling things that I've never felt before, and that I don't even know where to go with sometimes. Trying to stay centered with all of it is really difficult. This channel literally started off as just my health and needing safe access, to now no longer about activism for now, and about who I am and who I'm going to become. Hello YouTube, it's Miss Chronicles. How are you doing? Life's interesting, that's for sure. So I thought I would make a vlog just to kind of record this moment of, wow. I'm 22 weeks pregnant in 2 days today. And doing pretty well, except other than the normal morning sickness still. I don't know if you can see the bump. It's pretty big. Freaking getting big. A lot of things have been on my mind in the last couple of days, and I'm going to try to put it into context here. Mostly I want to say that you never know what life's going to throw you. And I guess you have to just kind of take it and digest it and go from there. It's possible to love and care for more than one person in your life. It definitely is. But I also believe that things happen to teach you things too, so trying to focus on a better day ahead. Possibly be holding this child very soon. It is a boy, if you guys saw my last video, and that's kind of surreal for me because I already know it's going to look very similar to the father. I already know it. It's guaranteed understanding. And I also already know that it needed to happen. This baby was supposed to be created. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you probably know I've been honest about my views of motherhood and childbearing in general, and to be pregnant 5 months later and to be slowly vlogging it again, vlogging my life again, it's a little scary, but I think, you know, it's like anything, you have to just kind of step forward and figure it out. So trying to figure this out, figure it all out as I go. I don't want to be one of those people that believes that you need to know everything by the time you decide to have children. I almost believe that, you know, your children help you learn as a parent to be a better parent, and your parents help you be a better parent, and friends help you be a better parent. I don't think it's a one-sided situation when it comes to you can be the best mom because you've prepared yourself with books or anything else. So there's a lot going on in my life right now where I just really hope and pray it doesn't turn into something that I don't want it to. And I hope that this child gets the most love it can, and there are tons of people supporting this little life, and that gives me hope that, you know, this isn't a wild decision to throw the wrench into my life. You know, I mean, I don't really believe that your life ends when you have a child. I just think that your life no longer is what it was prior to being single. There'll always be two instead of just one, meaning me. And relationship-wise, I'm almost at a place where it's like, I just don't want it. I just don't want it. I mean, it's always nice to be held. It's always nice to be loved. It's so important to feel those things. And I'm not saying to deny myself, but when it comes to making life decisions, when I'm about to bring a new life into this world. I don't see how that would fit into my equation of life. Like, I did think that I would have been married before I had a child. And I did think that I possibly would have not ever married at all, but still had a partner. So to not really have a partner and to be doing this independently is a little scary, but it's also something I know that probably at the end of the day I'll be glad many years down the road that I am doing this as a single mom, because I do know that I'm a very unique person, and I do know that this child will definitely have some interesting views. I just know it. It's not a question, it's a reality. So, there's been a lot on my mind where it's like, what's actually important now, you know? What's actually worth focusing on now or giving energy to now? So, I did put back my videos up, the ones I feel comfortable posting that are live on this lovely channel. And I'm going to continue to vlog my health and expansion with my life. But I can honestly say that I never know what's going to happen tomorrow or the following day. I just don't. I am very comfortable with right now understanding that it's a journey and that I'm going to just take this ride. It's been a good 5 months since I've been really posting things, if not 4, that you guys had seen an update. So, the reason I posted that video recently, and it's before this video, I'll put a link below in the description, the 2-part video, my pregnancy story. It's just that I had to wait to post it because for so many intensive reasons, and the awkwardness of that video is I felt it was a boy. I felt the name fit right away. I felt it all. I felt it. And in the last couple months, I've actually been having a hard time believing in my intuition and thinking that I'm just way off. And ultimately, when I found out it was a boy, it was kind of like that clicking feeling of like understanding life's definitely talking to me. I have not stopped being in tune. I've just stopped trusting in myself. So there's a lot of emotions that have been running through my mind of like, I had to take the choices that I did. I had to do what I did. I have to be who I am, and I definitely need to continue to fight for what I believe, but it's a new fucking time in my life where I'm just kind of waiting for new things to happen, you know? Like they said, relationships or this baby to be born. I have no idea when he'll be born, but I don't think that, I don't have a doubt in my mind that this is a mistake. I have no doubt in my mind. I feel like this is so meant to be, but to be unwed and out of the relationship with the potential father, that's just really hard. It's really hard. So, I'm doing this mommy and daddy. I'm doing this independently and financially and spiritually and emotionally. And those emotions I'm trying to block from my child that's not even born yet. So it's like, how do you be unbiased when you actually still feel like it's really difficult? And as a single mom to be, I know what a single mom does. That's what my mother was. And she was a great single mom. She fought like hell and had to have a lot of support too. Which I don't deny that will probably happen with me. But when it really comes down to who I am and what fabric makes me who I am, I've always kind of just stood true to accepting that life's going to give you a lot of adventure and you just have to hold on and deal with it. And dealing with it in general is basically accepting and embracing all the moments, including the ones that are scary, like this. I mean, honestly, I'm at a place, 5 o'clock this morning, vomiting on the end of my tailgate of my car because vomiting by my trunk because basically I can't even take a sip of water in the morning sometimes. So this child's heartbeat is very strong, and its spine is fully developed, and its facial expressions are there, and its personality is already becoming. It's a surreal thing for me. I'm slowly feeling kicks, which is interesting too. But as a woman, I just never prepared myself mentally for this. I never prepared to be a mother. I really, really thought I'd be a wife before I'd ever be a mother. So to have such a different perspective of exactly what my role is going to be for the rest of my life, right at this point forward, you know, it's pretty surreal. This is the new me. I don't even feel like I am me full throttle because I feel so crappy, you know, or insecure because I'm just doing this. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep fighting, not just for me, but for this child. The baby's father, I just truly, honestly feel like it's not finished business when it comes to the child, obviously. But when it comes to us, it's done. It's so done. I will love him for the rest of my life. I will feel the way that I feel for the rest of my life. But when it comes to having some kind of sincerity, you can't believe a liar. You just can't. There's no believing a liar. So, it's hard to believe in an apology from a liar, so it's also the atmosphere of who he is as a person that scares me to develop that relationship as a father for the baby, because, you know, I don't know 100% if he's ever going to be involved with this kid's life, and so at this point I'm just kind of living my day-to-day reality that he probably will never be there for this kid, ever. And if something miraculously changes, then that'd be great, but it's a hard sell because, you know, the fact is, I'm going to do this alone. So part of that is going through this pregnancy alone and dealing with the emotions of being the me that I knew to now the me that I'm becoming and the me I'm going to be. It's a really hard, deep look into my soul, into my future, that I have zero idea really what's going to happen. I mean, of course, I even fear that day of delivery, my child doesn't breathe or something, you know, or day of delivery, I have the child on the side of the road. I think of the craziest thoughts right now because it's this overwhelming protection that I feel. And the frustrating part is, as a woman and as a sick person, I found it even more difficult because just bonding with my belly, bonding with this baby, is almost forced because I just don't even know how to explain the feelings that are there. They're very present. That this is just the beginning. It's not. A long way to go when it comes to all of this. So in the next few months, I really hope to start vlogging more because my emotions need to be at least documented. And the way that I feel spiritually about this child, I think I've been dead on before it was even conceived. Knowing that it was a boy, I felt this soul of like energy, strong energy. Move out of the way kind of energy. And to see this baby on ultrasound, it's just hard to know that I will look into this child's eyes at some point and see him. That's really hard. Just to see a split soul of someone else that I experienced. But again, I also feel like it was completely all meant to be. So, the acne that goes with pregnancy, the exhaustion that goes with pregnancy, the emotional side that goes with pregnancy, the transformation that goes with pregnancy, I think is worth it for this little life I'm carrying. I mean, there's no way else to say that. So, trying to stay centered with all of it is really difficult. Because again, I am saying words and feeling things that I've never felt before, and that I don't even know where to go with sometimes. This channel literally started off as just me dealing with relocating because of a man and my health and needing safe access, to now no longer about activism for now, and about who I am and who I'm going to become, and kind of documenting it right now in this very crucial time. And I'm a very open person, so it's hard to not be as open as I'd love to be and just spill my guts, but the disclosure has to happen because we live in a day and age where there's just so much drama can be involved with just mentioning a certain person's name. So when it's referencing just me, obviously I can spill my guts. And, again, the reasoning for not possibly showing the child is because we live in a day and age. I don't know how this child will feel. I don't want to project anything towards this child if they don't want any exposure when it comes to YouTube. I mean, how can that be fair? I put myself in my child's shoes and think, unless this kid loves the camera, I just don't see how it's going to benefit me or the child to expose on the internet right now. So, my pregnancy is a personal thing. The birth of this child is a very unique thing. I have a lot of unique people helping me. I have a live-in caregiver now. I have a totally new zip code, you know? I mean, I am doing a lot for this child so that their foundation's strong and I will have a better ease to raising this child. I couldn't have done it in LA, and to now know that I am pregnant with a boy makes me very happy to be in the mountains and be able to offer this kid a lot more adventure and exploration that they wouldn't have had in LA in comparison. The distances and the locations in regards to doing things free are very far away. And other than the beach, I mean, how much sand can a child take? So that's part of it, is I'm kind of at a place where I think can only benefit this child to be living in Colorado in general. So a lot of you people out there are like family, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm gonna just cut it off, because that's not where I'm going with this. If anything, this channel may be transferred, may be changed, may be renamed. Who knows? But when it comes to MsCC and Miss Chronic Chronicles, I'm going to do the best I can to continue to share what's going on in my journey. But I almost feel like this channel is transferring back into my first channel, which is Rachel Raw Truth, and just the truth that is me, what is raw. So I have kept my videos up. I've reposted my videos, or made my videos live, if you want to say, so that finally the people who come can kind of understand a little bit more what's going on in this whole channel and who I am. This is not scripted. This is not planned. This is not, was never expected. Had a feeling, it wasn't 100%. So, we will find out what happens in the coming months. I have about 4 months to go. I'm 5 months pregnant in 5 weeks. And so, excuse me, yes, 5 months and 5 weeks pregnant. Almost at 6 months. But my doctors are under the impression I could easily deliver this child by October. So, being that the whole reality for which I am living in now has changed so much, and that I don't really even know how soon I'm going to be delivering or becoming a mother, is pretty surreal for me. It is heartbreaking in other ways, too, because I do know that I'm not really grieving the loss of my previous life of any sort. It was all a very important lesson to learn more than once. But doing this without the excitement from my own mother or the support from my little brother or family members back in Louisiana who can rub my belly too through this process. I have a grandfather that's very ill, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. So there's lots of things that are going on right now where it's just like, no idea what's about to happen. So I don't think there should be a set script or a set way of doing anybody's venture into parenthood. I think that it is a crash course, and that is what it is. You take it with strive, and you learn from it. So I'm going to just keep reminding myself that always, that, I do not have all the answers. I don't expect to have all the answers. And only time will tell what's my real reality. As at this point, I feel like there's so much unfinished business in so many different directions, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way that life turned out. Heartbreaking on one hand, and then it's enlightening in others, because I know that I'm blessed to have had the experiences I've had. I've moved back to California 3 times. I've moved back to Colorado 3 times. I've moved back to Louisiana 3 times. So this child to be on its way to go through more adventures with me, I already know that documenting it is quite important. So being pregnant and seeing my body change too has been quite amazing, because you notice that in the world we live in, there are obese women and there are pregnant women. There are women who don't give a shit while they're pregnant, and then there are women who may be a little bit more safe, like myself. If I had not lost my child 3 years ago, I don't know if I would think the same way that I do now. I don't know if I would feel the same way I do now. But I do know that with that experience of losing the child and seeing that child in the toilet and being unaware that I was pregnant until I miscarried was a nightmare. It's not something you wish a worst enemy. Not at all. Not something at all you wish upon anybody. And I almost feel like that's what fixed the foundation to who I am now. It's that I welcome what is waiting for me in the universe. So being a good mom, or being a good person, or being a strong person, however you want to put it, due to the circumstances of my health and my respect from a lot of people, is very hard. Continuing to do YouTube, it's just still one of those things that I feel strong about in my gut, but yet from the exterior of the world, it's very hard for some people to understand exactly what I am doing here. And it's really, truly, I'm making memories for my child. And all those videos, even though, you know, it's a different perspective of me as a person and as a mother to be, I still do think that they were all rightfully needed and ideally need to be public still. It's a lot of good information that I've been sharing over the couple of years I've been vlogging. And relationship-wise, the things I've went through, ups and downs, they needed to be out there publicly, not just for myself, but definitely for other women out there who may just stumble upon these videos. I'm still vlogging from the same tablet that I started vlogging in 2012, so that's another thing. Like, there's certain things in my life where I didn't even think I'd have the resources that were still flowing through to make this all available for you guys. And to find the right words lately has been absolutely devastating at times, because I don't want to say something I don't completely feel, and the way I feel is I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified of being a mother, because I'm worried about the health of the child. I'm worried about the health of myself. I'm worried about people's judgment, even though I should not care. I'm worried about losing myself in the fact that I will lose myself in my child. So it's all something I know that is part of this whole process of becoming a mom. When it really comes down to sharing it all, it's not just for me, it's not just for this child, it's for a bigger purpose, and that has never went away. So when I look up vloggers online, other people who are strong in their beliefs or their life experiences and want to share it with the rest of the world, I feel a little less alone. And when I have these moments of not knowing how to find the right words, it's just real. It's really real what's going on. And it's hard sometimes to put it in context. And I think love has driven me in so many different directions, so I would go to the ends of the earth for some people, and others I would do everything I can to stay away from them. And yet, life has its fucked up ways of bringing you back to solve those conflicts of interest or the illusions of life as well. But I've never felt like anything in my life has been a mistake, and not this baby either, so realizing that I'm going to be pee-pee and poo-poo mama, it's sort of surreal, but also knowing that, like, I've been babying myself for now the last God knows how long. 7 or 8 straight years at this point. And when my body goes into shock and makes it hard to just do normal things, I handle it well. So when I'm thinking about being a parent and dealing with the things that happen with a child, I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. I'm pretty sure I'll have this figured out slowly but surely. It's going to be a daily struggle of learning. But it's all worth it. I know it. I know it. Just a scary reality. And I hope at some point I can look back at this video and really connect the dots of these feelings, because it's like a giant crater that you just don't know what's going to happen. And the crater is a massive question mark of who is this child? Who's this child going to be? And me as a parent, how much time am I going to be with this child? And will they be able to cure my liver, and will I be able to have a life, and will I find love one day, and will I stay in Colorado, and all of those questions that are all normal to the circumstances. So, I will continue to vlog. I don't know how often, and I will do this as organically as I think I can when it comes to the circumstances that my heart is open and aware that I am fragile still, though. After visiting Louisiana and visiting for visiting Louisiana, it showed me that so much can change in so little time, and that feelings that you have for something will not go away until resolved. So I think almost if he had continued to lie further and I didn't figure it out, I don't know where I would be right now. It could be complete delusion. But to now know that there was just a constant game for him, an emotional roller coaster for him, and I was the seat, is difficult, because the retrospect of this child is, it's the bystander, not so much myself anymore. And the father of this child, well, he'll figure it out. So, having the support that I do from the friends and the family that I do, and even the exes that I've had, and all of that, it's kind of crazy. Even the Louisiana ex that I was living with when I started vlogging, which you guys sort of kind of understand if you've been with me that long. Because I believe it was August of 2012 when I started vlogging, so we're there, anniversary-wise. It's crazy when I watch those videos and I think it felt like a bigger purpose, and the purpose made sense, and it makes sense now. But when I vlog right now, I feel like, is this just pinpointing the failures in my life at times? You know, is this me documenting the things I don't feel like I've secured or locked down, in so many words, you know? And when it's really come down to it, it's like, well, I'm learning. I'm not supposed to know it all right away, obviously. As a parent, like I said, I don't think that you could ever be prepared. I mean, I've had that told to me for many, 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 many years. And even my own mother, I can say, did a great job as a single mom with no experience, raising 2 kids and doing it. But that's another reason why I'm like, I just don't know if I could do this again. I don't know if I could really be pregnant again. This might be the last time I do this, so I'm having a lot of strong feelings of like, I need to get my tubes tied, and then I think, maybe I'm not supposed to, maybe there's a bigger reason, and then I think, well, what are those thoughts? Because I'm already blessed to have the baby that's growing inside of me, and I don't need to be convenient to be fertile for someone else. But I do think of that, like, I guess it's a normal thing as a woman, you know, when you're in your 30s, which I will be in less than a few months. 2 months, I'll be 30. It's the ticking time bomb of, are you making the right decisions as a woman, you know? But again, unresolved feelings and knowing that I've felt love in my life. I definitely have loved some men in my life and some friends in my life who have become tainted or just couldn't work, or at the time wouldn't have worked. The emotions that I feel for so many different spectrums of my life, it's like, the only thing I question is, why did I have to go through so many different experiences to get to this point? It's very hard. very scary. Since I was 8 years old, I've been told, prepare, it could kill you if you have a child. So this baby alone, it's scary to me. And once it's conceived, there's no changing it. I don't believe in abortion. Personally, I couldn't do it. And I'm having faith in the medical industry, which is very hard, as we all know, if you guys have watched me for a while. I don't know what's going to happen, and that scares me. And to know that I'm going to plan to do this on my own, but yet that other side of this isn't even available is very scary. To nurture this child, and to nurture me while I'm pregnant with this child. Very hard. And what echoes in my mind is, I can't do this. Meaning, that's what the father said when he finally spoke to me on the phone about me telling him I was pregnant. So, I don't feel like it's a consequence. I don't feel like it's a complete spiral down, but I do definitely feel like there's a bigger purpose to it all. And to be civil would be amazing, but I don't even know if that's a glimmer in the stars, if you know what I mean, people. The foundation that this child's being born into is very one-sided, so, I mean, how can I ever feel 100% like this person was really interested in this baby's life, besides fucking it up, or putting me down, or putting the child that's not even birthed yet down? It's hard. Really hard. So, ideally, it would be amazing if at some point this person starts showing interest, but I'm not going to chase the person down, and I've given up on even giving the child the last name, because it's just not worth it. It's so not worth it. So, if any of you are friends of mine, or trolls in general, there's your answer. I'm not even going to give the baby the father's last name, because what are the ramifications of trying to honor something that isn't even there? There is no end point to that, and pretty much me giving this child possibly my last name, which I don't want to do, but if it happens, it ends up happening, would be carrying on my family name. But then again, and as a male, definitely carrying it on, but again, it's so a tainted situation. I know I'm not the only woman out there who's dealt with this, but it's just like, it's just a different world for women versus men, that's for sure. The whole psyche and the experience, you know, we go through things as women in general, like just your menstruals in general, that you don't really speak of. I mean, we're still sort of taboo about our own emotions, unless forced to confront them. So that's a big reason why I'm like, this is all really a internal thing for me, because I don't even want to share those emotions with this child the way I feel, but how can I avoid it? How can I truly avoid how I feel? There is no avoiding it. It is here at the surface, because I'm living it. So, and getting to this point where I am understanding there's no changing it. No changing how I feel, no changing the tears. It's just a part of the process. Is pretty hard. And I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it would be difficult in a lot of ways. I'm glad I've had a lot of silence from the arguments from this person, but the father, but it's, that aloneness is just agonizing at times, because it almost is like if I'm not bonding with my belly and someone else isn't bonding with my belly, the only aspect of all this is it makes me feel more alone, truthfully. So to start feeling the kicks and to have seen the ultrasound, the 3D ultrasound, that really did wake me up, in the sense that I'm this child's biggest advocate, and will always be this child's biggest advocate. So, cheerleader and advocate and best friend and caregiver and all of the above. So, I feel like I just look forward to the raising part of it. This whole pregnancy is destroying me when it comes to my own perspective of myself. So, as a mother and as a person who is fighting for this baby's life, I want to hold the child, I want to hug the child, I want to speak to the child, I want to teach the child. I mean, and I have to remember that he's a part of me, split DNA of me. So that's really a crazy reality, because as a woman, normally you prepare your mind for that. You go through decades of that kind of preparing as a woman. But for me, I always thought that option was not available. I always thought that either I couldn't conceive, or I couldn't carry, or it wasn't in the cards for me. So I never focused mentally on being that kind of woman or that kind of person. And I didn't look for a mate that would be perfect for that kind of role, because I really didn't believe I was going to have kids. And so to now be months away from being a parent, and to see it very clearly when I look in the mirror that I have a belly, there's a baby in there. It's pretty crazy. The hardest thing is just not being able to sleep with somebody and have them hold me and touch me and kiss my body in the right ways that I need to be nurtured right now, because I'm nurturing. It's like an empty cup that's just so dry. So it's hard. It's been real hard. Really accepting it all and knowing how to say it out loud, that I feel vulnerable, very vulnerable. I don't feel taken. I don't feel betrayed or any of that bullshit. I just feel alone in this, and I don't know if anybody can 100% understand, because my feelings and my fears go deeper than just having this child. It's long-term expect. Every second of this child's life from the conception on is precious with me. And that's where it's hard to not be loved, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what is going to happen. I'm just very, very grateful for all the amazing people and the experience that I've had to this point. Very grateful. So hopefully there'll be more vlogs, and hopefully the people who are watching can understand where I'm coming from. And if not, you don't always have to say something. If you feel like you need to, then please say something. If you're a negative person, I have zero room for that. So you will probably be blocked and your comment will be deleted. So please don't write anything that it would be hurtful to you, and much less myself or anyone else who may be watching this video. This video is 45 minutes long. I can't believe that I have to edit this. I'm gonna look horrendous, let me just say. My hair is up, it's frizzy. It's one of those days. So I'm gonna turn off the waterworks, let you guys go. in this video now, and I can start really refocusing on how I want to do this lovely channel here. So maybe at another time, in another galaxy, I can explain what's going on in my life. But right now, there's been a lot of skeletons in the closet I needed to make peace with. So as part of this little lovely vlog that I'm posting is I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up that I'm going through a lot of roller coasters of emotions lately, so that's why I haven't been vlogging as much, because the words are not on my tongue, they're more in my heart, and I can't seem to verbalize. So I thought, you know, let's just vlog right now and see what comes out, because this is how I feel. Anyway, let me show you guys my bump one more time. Pretty big. Hold on a second. So there's the bump. Very big. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Stay tuned for more vlogs. And thank you for watching. I will be posting more as I go. In the meantime, you're welcome to leave comments or get a hold of me on Facebook or Instagram. I am going to continue to post as often as I can, especially on Instagram. But I will talk to you guys later.